Nowadays, many people live in cities. Cities are booming and populated, and it is estimated that in the future, 65% of the people around the world will live in urban areas like cities and towns. But successful cities also must have a part of nature as well. They can't just have infrastructure, but they also need to have nature because that's actually one of the parts, the most important parts of what makes up a beautiful and successful city. So, why is nature in cities so important? Well, there are a lot of reasons. First of all, let's see the example of two trees, of two cities. One city is called Uruk, and another city is called Anuradhapura. Well, it's a very long name, but that city is located in Sri Lanka. In Uruk, many people are getting born, and the city is being crowded. It's very populated. So, as well as being populated, Uruk decides to chop down trees for more land space for crops. But that ruins their irrigation system. Their irrigation system is their water system from trees, and soon the water becomes contaminated, filled with deposits of minerals. While in the city of Annapurna, meanwhile, they also have the same problem as the city of Uruk, where the people are developing and sustainably growing a lot. But they don't chop down trees. Inside their area, trees are a sacred symbol of nature, and they believe that trees like the Buddha tree are great and they are religious, and they theory that trees are they shouldn't be cut down, and farmers lowered theirs. And so they had a lot of solutions, and Uruk faced a down and a negative consequence. But while the city of Anandapura, meanwhile, thrived because of no trees, and the infrastructure still remains the same. Now let's see why that happens. First of all, we must dive into the benefits of trees. The benefits of trees are not just fruits, veggies, they're not just that, but they also come in with the natural and city landscape and habitat. For example, the cities that have nature have roots. So the tree's roots will suck up water. Yep, that's right. Inside a rainstorm, many water fills up the streets in other urban areas, such as houses and neighboring areas. But with trees, they have roots that can absorb and suck in the water, making trees grow even more, making even more larger roots for sucking even more water, which is a very good and efficient way to stop the water from flooding, such as even in a tsunami or a rainstorm or inside a hurricane or even a flood. Yeah, they can suck in the water, which is a very good reason why the infrastructure of the city here is good because of the trees. The trees' roots sustain and support the infrastructure, and they also, well, they support the infrastructure, and they suck in extra water that can flood the city. Well, there's also benefits for citizens as well. Benefits for citizens include breathing fresh air. Fresh air is a very important chemical for humans to survive in. And as you can see here, the trees capture CO2, and they capture these evil viruses and CO2 and put them inside the leaves. The leaves are very important because they suck in toxins and acts like a sponge that sucks in toxins and other minerals that harm the air, and then filter them out and release good oxygen that humans can breathe in. That's why trees are also important for good air. And also, It is estimated and theoried that people and citizens that live in that that got injured and sent to the hospital that had views of brick walls heal slower than those citizens that got hurt but saw views of nature and trees, which is very surprising and shocking. Moreover, in Singapore, they invest a lot of money inside planting trees and urban areas as well and to support the planet. And there's also trees that are more than 50 foot high that are called super trees and that grow in Singapore as well. They develop a lot of money inside trees. But what happens if there are no trees at all? Well, that's a big problem because, for example, in 1870 inside New York, many people didn't plant that much trees in that area. They only had houses and infrastructure. There's a lot of smoke and it's very polluted. And that made the perfect environment for bacteria such as cholera to survive inside 1870 New York. And there's also no shade because of the trees. Because of no trees. So the sun could get in and the house, it was very hot. So bacteria also found a hot spot as well to thrive and live inside New York at that time. And so the infrastructure didn't remain that well. But also inside South Korea long ago, their tall buildings mean that trees cannot grow, meaning that under the tall buildings it became very polluted, especially for air pollution, and also very dark. So, in conclusion, trees are very good and we should start planting them now if we want to live in urban cities that are important and can help us humans thrive as well and the nature as well. Nature and humans are important. They are both important to sustain everything around urban cities. So that's why you should just go around the cities and plant a couple of seeds to help make people in urban cities that thrive there and move there live a better and more cleaner, fresher life because of nature. Nature is an important part a very important part of urban cities. So why don't you just go and plant some seeds in your neighborhood right now? Because in the future, remember the quote from the introduction, 65% of people that will live in urban areas when they grow up. So think about the people and think about the nature and how the nature sustains the people. And that is all I have for today. Thank you for listening.